right, collectors. So what did you think of that little story? If you're wondering why it said the story continues, well, that's because previously we had told a story with La Muerta. That review, if you're interested in that story, is down in the link in the description below. I'll put a link to that story, and then that's how it ties into this story. But, you know, you may have figured out now that when I get a figure I particularly like, I end up getting inspired by it and make a story from it. I saw this figure, I was inspired by it, found a way to fit him into the storyline of La Muerta, and I was like, let's do it. It'd just look amazing if we did it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun making it. The review would have been up sooner if the figure had sucked. But as you can tell already, I'm kind of spoiling it. No, it didn't. It didn't. Now, there are some things that you should be aware of with this figure, and we'll get into that in a moment. But overall, holy moly, let's just get into it. It comes in a box just like this. Garros. Let's see if we can get the whole box in there. Garros of the South. Okay, the Crypt Loose Collectors, the Great Wolves collection. I think there's a black one, there's a silver one, and there's a white one, and then there's a brown one. I chose this one. It was between this one or the silver one. I didn't like the black one, and I didn't like the completely white one because they were just too off the spectrum for me, right? They're just too far. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but they were just, you know, I wanted one a little bit more feral looking, like this one, like a brown one, like an actual werewolf, or a silver one to where it, you know, that also reminds me of like a great Arctic wolf or something. So I may go back and pick up that silver one. We'll see. But anyways, here's the box. Here's the top of the box. It comes with a warning, choking hazard. Let's see, is this one made for children's? Can I pick this one up at Target? Not for children under 5 years of age. All right, so there's that. Here's a picture on the side of him, looking good. 1/12 scale. Let's see. Yeah, 1/12 scale up here. Deluxe figure, the Great Wolves, Garros of the South. Pause it here if you want to read it, but I'm not going to go through the whole deal. Oh, here it is. Of course, you can see the back here. Dylan Muraco, I really like him, and Vozlak. I really like this one also, so we'll see. And he also reminds me of the Darkstalkers arcade figure. So it was between these two, and I went with this one just because this one's a little bit more realistic. But I mean, we're talking about fantasy here, folks. So, anyways, here he is, another side picture of him. Yeah, it looks great. Here's the box. All right, let's get into it. There is a glaring comparison that we need to do. And I'll get into that in just a moment. But here's the figure. And there are some things that we need to talk about with it. You know, it's not all sunshine and unicorns, right? The thing that shocks me, and we'll get into that later. Let's just start how we always start off. Let's start off what he looks like. I mean, he's got all these hits, shades, washes. He's just got a ton of variation in color, just all kinds of hits. The sculpting is phenomenal. The look of him is phenomenal. I mean, it's exactly what I ordered and exactly what I thought I would get looks wise, right? So here's his hands. It's got, you know, different color shading, different washes. You go from dark brown to light brown to almost white. His eyes there, his mouth. Look at that. Look at that doggo. He's a scary looking dude. Yeah, and they do a good job of hiding some of these joints. These sculpts are broken up, but they do a good job of it. So there he is. There's his talons. Oh, we got a little chipping in the paint there already. But you can just take a marker to it. Anyways. All right. To me, this is how I grade my figures. I'll put a thing up here. Look-wise, look at his face some more. Look at all those different colors in there. And he's got like a different mane right here as well. Looks-wise, to me, it's exactly what I ordered, right? It's exactly what I thought I was going to get. And for that, it's a 5. It's exactly what I ordered. It's exactly what I wanted to see, and it's exactly what I got. I would say I got a little more because he looks actually a little better than he does in the pictures. So if you get them in real life. All right, let's talk about the other parts, the articulation and stuff, right? Number one, this head can't do much of it looking up or down. So let's just get that out of the way. It just can't. So you're gonna have to do, sorry about that, you're gonna have to do a lot of that. Let me just adjust the camera again. You're gonna have to do a lot of that with this. He can go look up and down, like, because he's got a tremendous hinge right here. So he can look way down like this, or he can look way up like that. But you've got very limited articulation up here. He can turn, oh, it's a little tight in there, but he can turn like that. But there's very limited articulation there. So anyways, that's that. Now I had some trouble here on the jaw because this jaw hinge tends to fall out, but it does open and close. But if I do it too much, that hinge pops out, and I hate putting it back in, boy. But anyways, it does open, it does articulate. So there's that. Now here's where it really starts to shine, right? You can do a T-pose with this monstrosity. Look at that. Looking great. Not only that, double hinged elbows. Look at that. More than 90 degrees on a figure this bulky. Unheard of, man. Look at that. Oh wait, this one's a little bit, no, this is a little more. This hinge up here I had some trouble with, and that's another thing I want to talk about. It wasn't all sunshines and unicorns. See, it does move, but not as much as you'd think it would move. But anyways, he does do more than 90 degrees. This hinge was way tight. So there is a lot of heating that you have to do with this figure. So this hinge was tight. I had to heat it up. This hinge wasn't tight, so that's fine. It can do a T-pose. It articulates up and down. Not a problem there. He does have a cut at the he has a cut at the bicep. He has double hinged elbows, and he has an in and out. Most of his hands are in and out. None of them are salt shaker. So there's that for his arms. He has a cut at the, what is wrong with me? Not at the waist, at the chest up here. So there's that. And he does have a cut down here at the, now this cut here is kind of scary because there it goes. I had to heat it up at first. It does have a ratchet down there. And I did have to add a little bit of shock oil, but look at that. Look at the articulation there. So he has a hinge there to go up, forward, just an amazing amount of torque there. So really good. And he can also, watch this. Look how far he can do the splits. He could just do amazing splits. Very highly articulated there. I had to heat up these joints quite a bit as well and put a little bit of shock oil on them as well. They're kind of tight. They're kind of tight. And by kind of, I mean a lot. These joints were hard to move to initially, but now they're just fine. It's not a big deal with them. But they are, I'm not going to lie. They're tougher to move, but you can move them. This joint was a little bit loose. And then the other joint that was tough was this one down here. It's still a little tough, but you can get it to move. So, articulation, here's what's shocking about the articulation on this figure. He's so bulky that I was 100% expecting that I would not be able to move him. Like he'd be almost near impossible to move, just impossible. I'd get him but he can get into so many different poses. This is where the absolute excitement comes in for a figure this big to be this well articulated, unheard of. And here's the startling comparison, because I know a lot of people are already wondering out there, and I'm absolutely horrid at comparing two figures. I just suck at it. I forget all the time. I forget. I'm trying to do better and remember, but I just forget. Let me see if I can stand him up straight. He is top heavy. Come on. Let me see if I can stand as straight as I can. Fighting with this guy. Let's see. Okay, don't fall over. This ankle right here is really weak. There you go. All right, so there he is right there. Yes, let's bring in the elephant in the room, Mr. Veteran Williams. Well, let's see. Definitely this guy is way bigger. So let's just bring it down a little bit to see if we can adjust and get more of a regular eye view of him. So look at that. He's much taller than him. Much taller. Now, the million-dollar question is, which of these two figures is better? The Great Wolf or Veteran Williams? Bang for your buck, I think you're getting more bang with Veteran Williams, and he fits in scale better with your figures. So there's that. But this guy is a very close second. I mean, just very close, because he doesn't have all the different, because you could turn Veteran Williams into a straight werewolf, because he's got all the different parts that you can switch him out and put him into. But this guy's just magnificent looking. He's just gigantic and huge. You know, just a great looking figure overall. Come on, stand up straight. He looks great. I mean, they both look great, and they both have their pluses and minuses, right? Veteran Williams, I had some tough times with those joints and stuff, and I don't like how some of the, stuff that he has fits on him, but other than that, he's fine. Anyways, what do I think as far as what does he, what articulation? Articulation, because we have some problems with the looseness and some of the tightness in the head. It's kind of picky, and they did an amazing job in engineering it. So I can't take off that much. I just cannot. So to me, it's a 4.7 in articulation, which is fantastic for a figure this freaking big. You know what I forgot to show you down here at the bottom? He does have a thigh cut right there, and double jointed knees right there, and a hinge right here, which this is the weak one. So you got all that. I mean, ultimately, like I said, a 4.7 plus a 5.1 equals a equals a 4.9 for this figure. It's a great figure. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed that story at the beginning. Let me know if you like those and you want me to keep telling those. All right, guys, one last thing, height comparison. So you could definitely get a taste as to what you're gonna get here. The size of the Great Wolf, Veteran Williams, and an already tall Punisher figure that came with the bike set in 2018, 2017. I don't know. He came with a really great bike. This is one of my favorite Punishers. So there you go. Don't forget, I'll be doing the Metroplex Collectibles show right here. I'll put a thing for it right here. And also the contest for November. The link for that contest is in the description below. And very soon, I think we're going to do a riddle. We're going to do a riddle for a very cool Pulse exclusive that is now sold out. So let's have some fun. And then once again, tremendous thank you and special thanks to the members. And as always, guys, if you're doing this hobby and you got a smile on your face, you're doing it right. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling these out.